What's going on, everybody? We're back with another vid with the Intentional Sports crew, where we have acknowledged and accepted that we don't know everything.
But we are excited and determined to approach everything with intention.
It's your boy, Matt Elliott, alongside John, the voice. And today we're coming at you talking about the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Of course, last week we had a great slate of games with the Super Wildcard weekend, some upsets. And we're moving forward this weekend. We got 4 games, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. John, the voice, how you feeling about this weekend, man?
I know you're ready to talk about this weekend, Matt. I know you're ready. You want to move on.
Yes.
But I'm going to go back real quick because we need to talk about some of your predictions, Matt Elliott.
Okay.
We need to talk about
That's fair. That's fair.
There were 6 games.
Yeah.
Out of those 6, you got 4 correct.
Right. 4-2, not bad.
Not bad. But John, the voice, got 5 out of 6 correct. I tried to tell you, when you don't listen to me, you end up losing. You know, it is what it is.
You won that round. I'll give it to you.
So I got the Rams. You didn't see that coming. I picked the Rams.
I don't think, did anybody really see that coming? I don't know.
If they listen to me, they saw it coming.
Right.
But I also had the Colts winning, and I messed that one up. The Bills pulled that out.
It was close, though. It was close.
It was close. Yeah. And then you had the Steelers. I don't know why you chose the Steelers to beat the Browns.
Who thought the Browns would be up 28-0 in the first quarter?
Now, we didn't know that, but you know good and well those same Steelers that were 11-0, they died a long time ago.
They have, but I just didn't think the Browns were going to win. I just couldn't give myself to do that.
Well, guess what? You got another week to redeem yourself. Like you said, we got 4 great games. What 4 games do we have on the slate?
Yes, sir. So on Saturday, the 16th, that first game, we have the Los Angeles Rams visiting the Green Bay Packers, and that is at 4:35 p.m. And then that Saturday nightcap game at 8:15 p.m., we have the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Buffalo Bills. And then we switch over to that Sunday slate of games at 3:05. We have the Cleveland Browns facing off against the reigning NFL champion Kansas City Chiefs. And then the night game at 6:40 on Sunday, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the New Orleans Saints. Now, before we get started, John the Voice, we're going to introduce a new segment, and it's going to be called Why They Could Win. And what's going to happen is we're going to each give our reasoning of why a team could win in each matchup, and then we're going to give our final prediction at the end of our time explaining. So is that good with you?
Let's make it work.
Now, we know you can talk a lot. You only got 60 seconds. Is that enough time?
That's all I need to try to school you, sir. Listen up.
Well, let's go. The Los Angeles Rams versus the Green Bay Packers. Give us your take. 60 seconds on the clock and go.
The LA Rams, they went in and took care of business against Seattle Seahawks. And the number one reason why they could take care of business against Aaron Rodgers and those Packers, the number one reason is because they had the number 1 overall defense. That defense was stifling against the Seahawks. Both Aaron Donald and Michael Floyd finished that game with 2 sacks apiece, and that defense had 5 overall. If they can get consistent pressure on Aaron Jones and, of course, Aaron Rodgers, they could make that game really, really uncomfortable and difficult for that offense of the Packers. Here's another big thing to look at. You look at the stats, and we do it with intention. This team, the Rams, man, only gave up 17 passing touchdowns for the entire season. If they can limit Aaron Rodgers from getting in the end zone more than 2 times, they have a real shot to do it. And here's the big thing. They actually have a running game now, right? You have Cam Akers, who did a phenomenal job, over 100 yards rushing against the Packers. Against the Seahawks. If he can put up those type of numbers against the Packers, they have a real shot of pulling this one out.
Excellent stuff, man. So I'm going to go with why the Packers could win.
All right, Matt, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go and start.
All right, here are some of the reasons why the Green Bay Packers could come out victorious in this matchup. Number 1, Aaron Rodgers. He's having a phenomenal season. MVP type season. He probably will be the MVP of the league when the season is over. Of course, you have Devontae Adams as well, one of the top wide receivers in the league, averaging 11.9 yards per catch, 18 receiving touchdowns, absolutely dominating the game right now. And you also have Aaron Jones. We know that offense, and we know how high octane they are and what they can be. But what's really going for this team right now is defensively. Over the last 5 games, they've only been giving up 17 or fewer points in each of those 5 games. And they've also created 5 turnovers in those games as well. So I definitely feel as though that if the Packers can, do what they do normally offensively, and if they can contain Cam Akers, which he had, like you said, he had a phenomenal game last week. But if they can contain Cam, they do offensively, they definitely could come out victorious in this game.
Matt, those are great numbers, man. Based off of that, let's go over our predictions. And your first reason, man, that's reason enough. Aaron Rodgers, he is going to lead these Green Bay Packers to a victory against the Rams on Saturday. And here's the biggest reason why. If you look at the last 6 games, he has 19 touchdowns and only 1 interception. Mm-hmm. He is so efficient with the ball. And during those 6 games, he has a completion rating of over 80%. Because he's so efficient and he knows how to score touchdowns, there's no way the Rams, in my opinion, can win this game. Give me the Green Bay Packers.
And I agree with you 100%. Green Bay Packers. Now, can the Rams defense make it interesting? Absolutely. But I really feel as though when it boils down to it, again, Aaron Rodgers, MVP season, I believe he's going to take this team, the Green Bay Packers, to the next round in the NFC Championship game. And we're going to move on to our next game, that evening game on Saturday the 16th, the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Buffalo Bills. And at John the Voice, if you don't mind, I'm going to take this one first. Do you mind?
Let's see what you got. Let's put some time on that clock and get you started. 60 seconds on the clock. And here we go.
Here are some of the reasons why I believe the Bills may be able to come out victorious in this game. We just talked about how Aaron Rodgers is having an MVP type season. And we're going to talk now about Josh Allen, who's also in that conversation of MVP. Having a great season. You also have Stefon Diggs, the top wide receiver in the league as far as receiving yards is concerned. They have been shredding secondaries up over pretty much the last 12, 13 games, really. And we know the Ravens, we know what they're about. The Ravens are about blitzing. They blitz 41% of the time, which is tops in the league. But guess what Josh Allen does against the blitz, John Lewis? He throws 19 touchdown passes this season against the blitz.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. We know the blitz is coming. Wink already told us that the Ravens are not going to change up what they do. But now I believe the Buffalo Bills are going to be able to scheme up some blocking and scheme up some plays that counteract that. And they may be able to, the defense, we know Marcus Peters and we know Marlon, they like to gamble a little bit. So if they get caught gambling, I think the Buffalo Bills may be able to scoop this one out.
Those are good reasons, and they absolutely have a chance to do it. But I'm going to talk through why the Baltimore Ravens could win this game. Can you put some time on the clock for me, Matt?
Yes, sir. 60 seconds, and it begins now.
All right, so this is what we're looking at, right? We're looking at a juggernaut of an offense with the Buffalo Bills, put up record numbers, and we were excited to see the maturity of Josh Allen, right? But then you have a MVP caliber quarterback on Lamar Jackson. Right. He led that team against Tennessee last week, and it was amazing to see. He did not a lot of damage with his arm, right? But his feet are on another level. So we look at both of these teams, and based off of that, if we think that both these offenses are great, then the defense has to be the deciding factor.
Right.
We're going to start with third downs. On third down, the Buffalo Bills are number 1 in the league and moving the chains. But guess what? The Baltimore Ravens, they're number 2, that defense, and stopping the third down conversions.
Okay.
And the Buffalo Bills, they struggle with stopping the run. They almost gave up 2,000 rushing yards. And guess what the Baltimore Ravens is going to do against them on next Saturday? They're going to run the ball. Lamar Jackson, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards will be going through that defensive line like Swiss cheese. The Baltimore Ravens have a shot to do it if they keep the ball on the ground.
Great stuff, man. And because based on those, we're going to give our predictions, and I'll go first. Because of what you said last, the Ravens' rushing attack against this Buffalo Bills' poorest defense against the run, I feel as though the Ravens will just, like you said, run circles around this Buffalo Bills defense, control the clock, keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands, not give him a lot of opportunities, to get on the field. And I think the Baltimore Ravens will come out on top in this one. Who you got, John Voice?
If Lamar Jackson can not turn the ball over, keep the chains moving on third down, and allow that defense to be fresh, don't have that defense on the field that long. And listen, when you look at personnel, you match it up personnel to personnel. The Buffalo Bills have crazy wide receivers. They're really good, right? Of course, the number one, you have Steph Diggs, the Maryland product. You have Cole Beasley. You have John Brown, the speedster, right? But the defense of the Baltimore Ravens, they tout a cornerback position that has 3 first-rounders. Marlon Humphrey, you have Jimmy Smith, and again, you have Marcus Peters. All 3 of them were first-round picks. They're going to be going up against that wide receiver core. Give me the Baltimore Ravens to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, look, we have another doozy of a matchup. I love this matchup so much. Probably my favorite of the weekend. I love what the Cleveland Browns are doing. Again, you had the reigning champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go over that prediction. I'm going to allow you to go first, Matt. You have 60 seconds on the clock. And you know what? I'll change your mind. I want to go first. You always go first.
Hey, Indian giver. All right, well, let me put 60 seconds on the clock for you then. 60 seconds and go.
All right, so this is the reason why the Cleveland Browns could win the game. So we got to look at a few things, right? Number one, what they did against the Pittsburgh Steelers wasn't just a great thing. It wasn't just magnificent. It was historic. Putting up 28 points in the first quarter has never been done before. They broke the record. And again, I understand that the Pittsburgh Steelers put themselves in a hole. What the Cleveland Browns showed is that if you give them a reason to take advantage of a turnover, bad field position, they will. Cleveland Browns not only did that, taking away and picking off Ben Roethlisberger 4 times, they were still able to move the ball very efficiently on the ground. Kareem Hunt and my guy Chubbs, they were amazing on the ground, keeping pressure off of Baker Mayfield, who still made pass after pass when needed. I understand that the Pittsburgh Steelers, they made a nice run at the end, but what the Cleveland Browns showed is that they're hungry enough to keep the pedal to the metal. And I believe that if they do that, they stay aggressive, they keep the ball on the ground, and they have a mindset that they're underdog, and they are okay with that, they could pull the massive upset against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. And I mean, I disagree, but I kind of understand where you're coming from. But here are some of the reasons why I believe the Chiefs will be able to come out on top in this game, why they may be able to come out on top of this game. And I'll give you 3 reasons. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. End of discussion. You literally have the number one, you have one of the top quarterbacks in the league. You have one of the fastest wide receivers in the league and playmaker, one of the best playmakers in the league. And then you literally have a wide receiver in a tight end's body in Travis Kelce. Like, you really cannot stop this guy. He's having the best tight end season in NFL history this year, right? The Chiefs are going to overwhelm the Browns. Now, you saw what happened. The Browns, they got off to that nice start, 28-0, all fine and dandy. They won the game 47-35, right, if I'm not mistaken. We saw what can happen when their secondary is not good at all. The second half, Ben Roethlisberger came in and started shredding. So imagine what Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are going to do to this Browns secondary. Now, I agree with you. If the Browns keep the ball on the ground, if they keep the ball on the ground and rushing and control the ball, they may be able to keep it close. But in my prediction, I just don't see the Browns being able to keep up with the Chiefs, and I have the Chiefs coming out on top of this one.
Yeah, I would have to agree as well. And I do think the Cleveland Browns, they could put some pressure on this team. And again, the biggest thing for them that's going for them is that the Kansas City Chiefs, they did not play week 1, right? Didn't play wild card weekend.
Right.
So they could be a little rusty. We saw what happened with the Baltimore Ravens last year, right? So it's very possible if they start really fast, they may have a chance to put Kansas City in a position where they feel like they have to catch up. They might make some mistakes, but again, it's really too many weapons. You named them all, and I can just say Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Kansas City Chiefs should be able to pull out this game. It might be tight, but give me the Kansas City Chiefs against the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, sir. So we feel as though the Chiefs are moving on, and we're going to move on to the last and final game of this divisional round weekend. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the New Orleans Saints, and I am going to go first this time since you let me go first and then took it back. So I'm going to go first this time. I feel as though, or here's some of the reasons why I feel as though the New Orleans Saints may be able to come out on top of this.
Hey, Matt, give me a second because I feel like you want to talk about your stats and not put time on the clock. And then you want to talk all day long like you have something to say. No, we need to limit that. So you know what? Here we go now. On my count, 45 seconds on the clock, and now you may talk.
Oh, thank you very much. And you took 15 seconds off my time. But anyway, here's some of the reasons why I feel as though the Saints may be able to come out on top of this. We know Drew Brees. We know his history. We know Michael Thomas. We know Alvin Kamara. That's the offense. We know what they are capable of. But this defense is playing great. And this defense, or this team, period, they have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers number. They're 2-0 against them already in the regular season. And they blew them out of the water. Week 9, they beat them 38-3. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have only accumulated 94 total rushing yards in those 2 games during the regular season. If the Saints can continue to bottle up Ronald Jones II and Leonard Fournette and force this into a passing game with Tom Brady, even though their offense is good and they've been picking it up the last couple of weeks, I just feel as though that the Saints will be able to create some turnovers, create some pressure. They're possibly getting Trey Hendrickson back, their leading pass rusher this game. So if he can come in and wreak havoc on Tom Brady and this offensive line, I really believe that the Saints can possibly come out on top of this.
Matt, those are great stats, man. And definitely, I mean, those are compelling arguments why they could win the game. Let's look at the other side of this narrative and look at why Tom Brady and the Buccaneers could win against the Saints. Let me get started. First and foremost.
Wait. Before you get started, because we know you can't talk. Let's get your time up before you take the next 15 minutes of these people's time talking about why the Bucs, you probably ain't going to win. Could win. But here we go. 60 seconds on the clock and go.
Matt, they could win, and I'm going to tell you why, right? Okay. Because history tells us the feat that the Saints are trying to do is really hard and is very rare. So when we look at teams that have played each other, right, 3 times, it's rare that a team beats that team 3 times in a row. In fact, it's only happened 17 times since 1950, which the last time that happened was in 2009 when the Dallas Cowboys actually defeated the Philadelphia Eagles. It has been more than 10 years since one team has beat another team 3 times in one season. And I don't see right now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and more importantly, Tom Brady losing to the Saints 3 times in a season. And really the numbers also dictate that. Look at Tom Brady. Again, his numbers and his stats and passing yards aside, look at his history as a winner. He has been to the divisional round of the playoffs 15 times. His record in the divisional round, 13-2. 13-2 is a tremendous record. And I believe he has a good shot of making it 14-2 because he does not lose consistently in the playoffs. Give me Tom Brady and the Buccaneers to pull out a huge victory against the New Orleans Saints.
Well, you're taking the Bucs. I'm going to have to take the Saints. I definitely feel as though Drew Brees and company are going to come out on top of this game because of that stifling defense that they have. I think they're going to just rattle Tom Brady and company, and I believe the Saints will be moving on to that NFC Championship game versus the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm so excited to watch these slate of games this weekend. And again, you look at the quarterback positions, it's so awesome to see. You have young guys, you have old guys, right? And everyone doing the best they can to lead their team. You look at, again, you have Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes, all of those young quarterbacks. who have won games, who have won MVPs, who have won Super Bowls, they are under the age of 25. So the game is in great hands, great young hands. But you have these old veterans, man, who said, "Hey, we can still play, right?" So you got Drew Brees and Tom Brady who are over 40, and then Aaron Rodgers is 37 years old. They're saying, "Hey, we got something to prove as well." So it's a great mix, man. We got the young, we got the old, and us watching the Baltimore Ravens this weekend, we're gonna be the restless. So excited to see what's going to happen, man.
So we're definitely going to be tuning into these games this weekend, and we know you guys out there are going to be as well. And we definitely appreciate you guys for tuning into our podcast. And make sure, if you have not already, subscribed to our YouTube page, Intentional Sports. And we're going to be out. I'm Matt Elliott. Follow me at MJE Productions.
You can follow me on IG at John the Voice. And as always, whatever you do, do it with intention.